If you're thinking about becoming a real estate agent, whether you just got licensed or you're thinking about entering the profession, I'm going to give you the 5 huge tips that I wish I was told on day 1. And if you stick around to the end, I will give you the bonus one, which is one of the most important to me. So without further ado, let's get into it. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Conor J. I'm a real estate agent here in Tampa Bay. And consistently, since I got into the real estate business, I've doubled my business pretty much every year. Almost made 6 figures my first year, and I've been doubling ever since. And so I don't say that to brag, but I say that in the sense that I take this very seriously. I take my business very seriously. And because of the things I've learned from other people, from either, we'll get into it, but from those people and the good advice I've gotten, I've been able to cut the growth curve. And my goal with this video is to give you the 5 main things. And again, I'll give you one more bonus so that the growth curve that I went on as far as for my real estate process, you can beat that, and you can get way ahead of me much quicker. So let's get into it. Number 1, decide if you're interested in being a real estate agent or if you're obsessed. And this is something that I have to give credit to Tim Grover. If you haven't read his book, Relentless, go ahead and read that, a little plug for him. But it's something that I think you should decide on, because there's not any shame if you don't want to fully commit to the real estate business, but it's something you should at least be honest with yourself about. Are you going to be a full-time realtor where you're completely devoted, you're completely committed to making a massive and awesome business that's making the money you want and is giving you the lifestyle you want? Or are you going to be a bartender on the side or own a restaurant on the side and also do some real estate? Or are you going to be a preacher and also do real estate? I've seen that a few times actually. So, just decide what it is. And there's no right and there's no wrong. But just make a commitment. Make a commitment as to whether you're going to just be interested in real estate, it's just something you're interested in, just like I'm interested in football, but I don't really pay attention to football, or are you obsessed with it? I'm obsessed with real estate, I'm obsessed with my real estate business, I'm obsessed with my real estate goals, and I'm obsessed with achieving the results that my clients are looking for and exceeding those. So answer that first question first. Number 2, get a real estate coach. And the big takeaway from this is you want to model. It doesn't matter if you're talking about real estate, it doesn't matter if you're talking about design, it could be photography, it could be any business venture. You want to model those people who have already successfully figured it out. Why start completely from scratch if there's already 100 use cases out there of success models that work? And not only do they work, but they're most effective, the most efficient, and the best at making them work. And so with a real estate coach, especially in the beginning, just like if you're playing a sport, and let's say you're gonna pick up tennis, if you just go out to the courts and just start hitting the ball, you're gonna grab the racket wrong, you're gonna be hitting it wrong, your serve's gonna have terrible form, and you're gonna build a bunch of bad habits, and ultimately you're not really gonna get anywhere to start. The practice you're putting in, the hours you're putting in, really not gonna be that effective. It's no different when it comes to real estate. You wanna make sure that the time you're putting in, the habits that you're developing from the start, and where you're investing your time and focus are those areas that are going to give you basically the highest ROI and get you on the fastest track to success. And I promise you, your real estate coach will pay you back tenfold. That is one of the best things that I did. I actually got a real estate coach right when I started in the business. And that was by far the best decision I have ever made in real estate. Little plug here again, I would recommend Tom Ferry. And Tom Ferry is the #1 real estate coach in the country. So it's not like I'm necessarily biased or anything, but feel free to read reviews and all. But the big thing with the real estate coach and the Tom Ferry program that I've seen, just a little bit of extra insight here, is it's not just the real estate coach itself, but it's also the people. You are the average of the 5 people you're around, and those are the top 1% of agents in the country. So if you want to be the top 1% of agents in the country, go get around the top 1% of agents in the country, and I can promise you they're there. Number 3, manage your focus. The focus is not in the right spot. First off, take the focus off the money, whether it's what you're spending or what you're making, take your focus off all of that. And just focus on your skills and focus on providing value. Realize that right now, you don't really know what you're doing, you don't have the experience, and you need to build up your skills and you need to build up your value so that when you go into a room with someone who's selling their house, you know more than them. And you can provide value just even if you only know 5 times more than them, which, just to get to a basic level, most people don't know that much about real estate. So just by going through the test and, being in the industry every day, you will know more than them. But you want to get to 10 times, you want to get to 20 times, you want to get to 100 times more. And the more value and skills that you can acquire when it comes to real estate, the more clients will defer to you as the professional in the room. You're gonna get less and less objections as people both realize that you A, have the skills, but also B, have the confidence. And the confidence really comes from when you actually put in the work and you know what you're doing. And that's where you get confident. And I can promise you, if you manage that focus, the money will come. So don't worry about the money, manage your focus. Number 4, you're gonna hate this one. I'm gonna say cold call. And the reason I say that is because you wanna get very comfortable talking with people you don't know, because that's the nature of being a real estate agent. And if you're nervous, if you don't like talking to people that you don't know or strangers, I mean, this is not the right business for you. And you don't have to be a super energetic person. I am honestly more of an introverted person. So it's not like one personality type. So there is plenty of people who are more introverted and they make amazing realtors and they attract their own certain tribe. But cold calling wise, you want to get comfortable talking to people you don't know, that don't necessarily trust you, and probably don't necessarily like you either. Maybe you're calling them in the morning and they're super ticked off, or their property just expired or went off the market, or they had a bad experience with an agent. But the reason I say that is you're gonna build up the skills, both talking to them and actually solving problems, as well as selling houses that another agent couldn't sell that you could, which is gonna give you a massive amount of confidence, but it's going to make sure that you can basically hunt in any market. You can create business out of thin air, and it's all just about you putting the time in. So once you get those skills, you can create business out of thin air. And then when you get the easy lead in where, your grandma's buying a house, your mom's buying a house, your sister's boyfriend's buying a house, your friend from college is buying a house, or your old boss, or your boss's friend, or your friend's friend, those are just gimmies. But those gimmies kind of just keep boosting up your business. But meanwhile, if you want, your business to be here and all your gimmies are only right here, you can hunt that extra half. And that is a crucial skill to be able to have. So definitely cold call, build up that skill and never stop. Number 5 is going to be set a goal. And by goal, I'm going to be talking about GCI, or gross commission income. So set a goal of commission you want to make, figure out how many deals that is, how many clients, how many sides, all those numbers. Then I want you to double that goal, and then I want you to strategically attack it. And by strategically attack it, I mean, don't just say you want to make $100,000 or $200,000 or $500,000 or $1 million, but then not realize what $100,000 actually looks like. How many deals is that? How many buyers is that going to be? How many sellers is that going to be? How many conversations do you need to get to one of those buyers? How many listing presentations do you need to go on to get one listing? How many listings do you need to sell one listing? And then how many conversations do you need to have in a week to close one deal? How many conversations do you have to have in a day to close one deal? That's how you strategically attack it. That kind of goes back to the coach point, and that's something they'll really help you out with. But if you decide to not take my advice on that and you want to do it yourself, make sure, set the goal, double it, and then strategically attack it so you're focusing on the daily actions that are going to get you to the goal, and you're not focusing on this overarching big goal, which is just going to make you paralyzed. You're not really going to end up doing anything. All right, guys, so now my bonus at the end, which has been a huge thing for me, is to find a mentor. Have a mentorship pack. And so the mentorship pack, just like any mentorship, is find a real estate agent who has the business that you want. And that could be something like a certain income goal. It could also be, someone who maybe is investing a lot in real estate. And so, yes, they're doing this amount of deals per year, but they're also investing in real estate in this amount of deals. They're buying, 1, 2, 3 investment properties per year. Or maybe they're doing, short-term rentals, per year. So find a mentor that you can really just absorb everything up from like a sponge, figure out what they're doing right now, and then model it. You're basically just modeling it and then ripping it off, and that's how you cut the curve. There you go, guys. Those are my 5 main tips for new agents, whether you're just getting into the business, you just got licensed, or you're just thinking about it. Definitely take all 5 of those to heart, because I can guarantee you that if I would have known those and I would have taken all 5 of those to heart right from the start, I would have excelled at a much faster pace than I did. And I wish someone told me, which is why I wanted to create this video for you. So if you have any other, tips, if you're another agent, feel free to comment them below so some of these newer agents can see, and we can help them out. If you're a new agent, or if you like this video, go ahead and drop a like and let me know in the comments what you thought about these 5 tips. If you like them all, if you think one of them's stupid, let me know. Lastly, if you're interested in real estate, whether it's staying up to date in the market, specific real estate topics, when it comes to real estate business, or the Tampa Bay area, which is where I'm a part of, feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel where I make more content just like this, all super easy to understand and nice and straightforward. But that's it for me today, guys. So until next time, this is Conor Green. Have a blessed day.